So as those of you who attended Be Good Be Social last night will be aware, Hugh Wallace, Alex Robertson and I were involved in developing a little bit of a QR codes corner for the night called QArna. And what I'm going to do now is just quick minute or two about my thoughts on how it went. I know Hugh's planning a more in-depth analysis of it, which will hopefully drop next week, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts. So my thoughts around it were that it was a great thing to be part of. It was a really fun element to the night. It added an extra dimension to things and something for people to engage with in the moments between workshops and that kind of thing. I think there were a couple of standout things for me. The where we tied QR codes to social networks, existing social networks such as Foursquare, Twitter, or even just a blog with a list of relevant content. I think people really engaged with that, and I think maybe that shows that people like to gain something from scanning it rather than just a quirky little picture or a joke or something a little bit more fun. Maybe they want to gain something from scanning a QR code. I think also the fact that Holly June Smith was one of the most scanned QR codes of the night on her T-shirt. I think that shows that when we link things to people, they really work as well because Holly was able to engage with people as they scanned and tell them a bit about why she's wearing the T-shirt, etc. So I think that helped engage as well. So I think when we link it back to people and existing social networks and add value to it that way, I think people really engage. I think obviously the ones in the toilet weren't engaged with much. Comment from Holly this morning on Twitter was that in the women's toilet it was only on one of the six cubicles, so the chances of people hitting it are obviously 1 in 6. It's not very high, and you know how often are people going to the toilet in the evening anyway? We'd have been worried if it had been scanned 50, 60 times, I guess. And obviously the ones on the window in the main conference suite as well. Maybe a bit hard to get to with that cafe style of tables, and people just weren't willing to jump over other folk to get to them. So I think there are lessons to be learned in terms of where to put them and what content to put on them. But I think overall it's a really worthwhile experiment. I really enjoyed working with Hugh and Alex on it, so thanks to those guys. And I think it just added another dimension to a great event that Ross has put together. And I think I'll certainly be exploring QR codes again. I have been with one kind anyway, and I think perhaps there's a chance to do it with Third Sector Lab as well in my role with them. And yeah, I think it was a really worthwhile experiment, and I look forward to seeing Hugh's in-depth analysis on it next week. Thanks very much.